Hey guys, it's Calliope, and I'm back with a little NaNaNa video for you guys. Now you guys remember when I opened this little girl here. So, I was really excited and I wanted to get another one. Unfortunately, I didn't realize there's a way to tell. I just assumed like any other surprise box, you can just grab one and hope you get something different. So when I got my other one, I got the exact same doll. Now, as you can probably see by the large mess of stuff on the table here, I'm going to be changing this one here to make her look different than the original doll that I got. Now, they're the same doll, obviously, but this is the one that I got originally. So I'm going to set my original over here. So I don't know if you guys can see her back there. Let me see if I can set her down a little bit. There we go. She'll be in the back here. And then with this doll, I already got all the stuff made for her just so that way this is faster. So I made her a new little hat and a new little dress for her to wear. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Plus I got a very cheap Dollar General wig, which since they have what I'm assuming is the same synthetic situation, I just got a very simple synthetic wig from Dollar General for about $1. I will make a comment about this a second. If you are starting into doing like dolls and you want to make alterations on your dolls or make wigs for your dolls, Halloween is probably the best time to get some synthetic hair. If you want to start with something that's cheap, because this was $1, and if you want something cheap and easy to get, as long as you don't mind taking a wig apart, because the wisps I have over here, I took off the bottom of this wig, because obviously it wasn't that thick. It was kind of thin. Also, if you wanted to buy like Halloween wigs for costumes, I would suggest getting 2 just to make them thicker because they are very thin. I will be using this whole wig for other projects, not just this one, so it will not be going to waste. I will use all of it. So, there's other dolls I need to work on that probably won't be on YouTube, but yeah. That was just a quick thing about wigs if you wanted some suggestions about how to get wigs. If you're just learning how to work with like sewing new wefts in or styling a wig and you want some practice on something that's not going to be very expensive, go with the cheap Dollar General wig. Because if you screw those up, you can throw it away or you can give it to a kid to wear for fun. But the other wigs can be quite expensive to destroy, so yeah. So we got the NaNaNa tags. So we're going to see if I can find a good way to take this hat off without much. I'm going to take her dress off real quick too while we're at it. Because this dress she will not be wearing. Alright. Now for the interesting thing is seeing if I can find a seam to slip my scissors on after. Trying to see if I can get right in the hairline there. So where it looks like it's stuck. Alright. This will answer the question whether or not you can remove these or not very easily or not. So, if anybody's interested in trying to remove these for other purposes. Sorry, I feel like you guys probably can't see much of what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get my scissors underneath here so I can get there we go. There's that. That came off fairly easily once we got that first one done. Okay, so that's not too bad. So for the securing, it's only these 2 spots here, one here, and the very top of her hairline. So if anybody wanted to see what a NaNaNa's head looks like when you take off their hat, we have a very bald, oops, sorry guys if I'm shaking the camera, very bald NaNaNa now. And I'll see what I want to do with this wig later. I might, since it looks like it's fairly easy to add it, I might layer it underneath her wig just to make her hair a little thicker maybe. I am going to try this on one of my smart dolls later, not in this video. Just to see if it's, because I know a lot of people were asking that, and a channel I watched too, called, I'm trying to remember her name off the top of my head. I mentioned her in the last NaNaNa video I did. Lively Day, there we go. I watch her videos, so she had a lot of people in her comment section when I was down reading some of the comments where I saw that, so I might try this on my smart doll, and then I might go post a comment to see what people think. Maybe. I'll see. But yeah, I'll go see if that works, because I'm curious too if that would work. So I'm going to set this off to the side with the dress. And now I made a little hat to match this hat. Now mine's a little bit wonky probably because I was taking guesses on shapes and stuff. So it's a little bit wonky but not terrible. So here's some of the pattern pieces if you want an idea of how to build this on your own. This is this part here. And then the back has 2 circle halves like this. And then you got your ears. So before we put the hat on, since it looks like the hair is attached to the hat, I'm going to put this where I can see it for reference. But while we're waiting, I'm going to put her little dress on that I made her. And yes, I know this is probably not the best dress that I've done. It's an interesting scale for me to work with, and I'm learning. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put this on just so she doesn't have to sit in her underwear forever. I tried to get the sleeves on this dress because I did use the original dress as a pattern, but I couldn't get it to work and I gave up on the sleeves. So this is what happens when you're trying to do something quickly. And I'm gonna try to tie this in the back, see if this works. Not the greatest bow, but I'll fix that later. I don't know why when I try to tie bows, they're always upside down. I don't know. But there's the little dress on her. Now she's got her new little dress. And I'm going to go ahead, set her back here for now. Maybe just leave her feet there. She is going to keep her original boots because I do not know how to do shoes for the life of me. So, alright. So some of the wefts I already got cut a little shorter for doing the bangs, just so I could get an idea. And from what I'm seeing, these wefts are a lot thicker, so it's only got one weft sewn into the hat. So with these wefts, they are very thin and cheap, so we're going to probably have to sew a couple of these together. I'm not sure how many I want to do. Well, I got her head off. Let's go ahead and just lay these over here so I can see how I want to do this. I think if I double it up, it'll still be too thin, so I'm going to go ahead and do at least 2 of these wefts sewn together. So try not to lose all my stuff onto the floor. Trying to make sure my wefts are going at least somewhat the same direction. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk and sew at the same time. So, question for all of you guys. Would you do NaNaNa alterations if you can? Or would you leave them the same if you had 2 of the same dolls? Because that was my first question when I got this doll and I realized it was the same one I already had. Was part of me was going to give it to my sister. Not the one that's been on my YouTube channel before. Not Mystery Girl. I have a younger sister who I don't think has been on this channel yet. If she has, she's been a background personnel, but not really in a video. Just so that way it's easier for you guys to tell. I'm going to call her Princess, just so that way it's easier for you guys to tell who I'm talking about. So, I thought about giving this to her, so she'd have it. But then I kind of wonder, like, I don't think she's really into the NaNaNa dolls, as far as I can tell. She has a lot of LOL dolls, so she's more interested in those. But it's hard to tell with the younger generation, because, like, I'm 24 years old, and my youngest sister is, like, over, I want to say, at least maybe 10, no, more than 10 years younger than me. I think she's almost 8 years old, give or take. So yeah, there's quite an age difference between us. So it's like, I don't know what she's really interested in. I've tried to, like, find more interesting things that she's interested in, but her and my younger siblings always like to play on their computers more, and I'm an old 90s kid. I'm not, like, I haven't been in the 90s for very long. I was born in the, like, 1996. So, like, I was at the end of it all, but I still have a lot of 90s and early 80s influences and stuff in what I've watched and whatnot. And I'm stuck on, like, watching TV, and my siblings sit there and watch YouTube all day, so I don't understand that. But yeah, I'm rambling. On the other hand, I thought about, after doing that, I thought about, you know, it'd be fun to do what we're doing today and just see if I could mod her and make her look different, and then see what I think of that. So, because it'll be cute. If I can have a little cat girl that's a little different, it'd be interesting. Plus, I've seen a lot of people, not the NaNaNas, because I try to look up NaNaNa modding, or doing different little things with modding for dolls. And I don't think anybody's really done NaNaNas that much. I've seen LOLs, I've seen Barbie dolls, I've seen Monster High dolls get this treatment. So I'm like, there was no real reference for what I was gonna do today. So I'm kind of just taking my knowledge of what toys usually do and kind of taking inspiration from the original doll as much as possible. So, where did my needle go? I feel like I'm gonna lose my needle in all this hair. I just want to tag this onto the inside of the hat. If you want a tutorial for this hat, I will do it. I just want to know what you guys' opinion. If you guys want to make little hats like this for other dolls that are similar to NaNaNa doll size, I would be willing to do that. You guys will just have to let me know if you like a video about that, because it wasn't a very hard thing to do. Like I said, it's very basic shapes. That's why I showed you guys my little pattern that I made for it, just to give you an idea of what the patterns pieces are. Because at first I just thought this was going to be a round hat, like, you know, basic cinch the top of the hat kind of thing. But when I was looking at it, it has at least 3 to 4 pieces, if not including the ears. So you got the back piece, you got the little band across the top of the head, and you've got the little elastic piece that goes around the head. And then you can add your animal ears to it. Depending on what you want for animal ears, like little cat ears. I know that NaNaNas have other animals too, from what I understand. So there's that. If you want to do some different NaNaNas, or just different hats in general for different things similar to a NaNaNa. So that's something you could do if you wanted to. I am going to preference everything I'm saying that when I say something's really easy, I also have 14 years of sewing experience. So every time I say something's easy, I generally get the look from people of, okay, and I keep having to remind myself I have more experience than a lot of people. So if you have a good sewing experience and you know how to, like, do basic things for sewing and know how basic shapes for sewing work, like if you made plenty of hats in your life or you made plenty of dresses, you'll have a basic idea of how certain things go together. That's going to be important for you to know. Just basic sewing. If you're a hand sewer, like I generally hand sew because I've destroyed too many sewing machines. Okay, one sewing machine was not my fault that it got destroyed. My cat pushed it off the table once. If you want to hear that story sometime, it's really not that big of a story. I can tell it though, if you guys want to know what happened there. So, but yeah, if you have a little bit of sewing knowledge, then I would suggest, you know, this is stuff that's fairly easy, in my opinion. And even if you're a beginner sewer and you want to learn some more things to do, and you want some interesting things like that are a little more mainstream, like a NaNaNa styled hat or wig situation, I can do it. Like I said, the dress is really kind of mixed. It's a scale I'm not familiar with. So I'm aware it's probably not the best looking little dress that she's got wearing right now, but it was my attempt at making a dress that size, and I think it looks fairly cute. I'm okay with it. I could have done a different situation, but for what it was, it's good. I feel like general artist comment, it's a thing. I feel like anybody who creates or makes stuff, that's our response. It's a thing that I did. And sometimes when you make stuff, you don't want to admit that you actually made something. But I've had those too, where I'm like, oh, do I have to admit to somebody I made this? Because I don't want to. Just checking to make sure you guys can see everything. If the camera shakes, that's me usually tapping the screen because it does go to sleep after a short amount of time. Okay, I'm going to turn this inside out just so I can see what it looks like. I think I need one more weft to make it thick enough to make the braids. Okay, turning back inside out. I figured this was going to be at least maybe 2 to 3 wefts for sure, just to make this thick enough. So, trying to decide how I'm going to do that. I feel like this video is going to need to be fairly long. Probably at least a half an hour for sure, because I cannot make a video under half an hour. I have tried, but I fail. What am I stuck on? There we go. And the nice thing with the fuzzy fabric is it doesn't probably going to show up as much, because you can hide it fairly well within the fuzz. So, there's that too. But furry fabrics are a little bit difficult to sew on if you're not used to sewing with fur fabrics, because they do slip a lot easier, similar to shiny fabrics. Shiny fabrics too, depending on what they're made out of, can be very easily frayable. That was the problem I was having with this dress, trying to make the sleeves. I was, I don't know if anybody knows the trick where you take ribbon and you burn the ends to keep it from fraying. That's what I was doing with this dress. That's why there's some discoloration on it, because I was using a small flame to keep the ends from fraying. And then after I attempted to get one sleeve on, I said nope, and I decided to take it off, and now we have a sleeveless dress. That's the end of that story. It was a thing that I attempted, and it didn't work so well. And the nice things with these hats is if you can sew it inside the hat, you can at least hide some of the undersides of the wefts a little better. Come on, hat. The only problem I'm having right now is everything wants to slip out of my finger. I think 3 wefts is going to be good. I thought maybe 4, so I grabbed one more just in case, because I originally was like, oh, this will only take 2, and then I was like, maybe we should add 1 more just to be safe. Alright. Making sure I keep my stretch going the right direction. That's the other thing. If you have a stretchy part of your fabric, you gotta make sure the stretch is still there. Let's see how that looks. Maybe going to put it back, pin this back down. And sew this one back across here, and I think that will be perfectly thick. I am getting tangled into hair and string and hair and string and hair and string. I'm sure this looks like a complete mess to somebody else, and it looks like a mess to me too. I'm aware of it. So, but I'm getting there, slowly but surely. That's why I kind of want to make the hat and the dress off camera, because I knew this would take forever. So, and I currently don't have a lot of extra ability to speed stuff up or edit. I'm trying to learn how to edit so I don't have to just keep putting raw videos with little editing. out. So I just don't have the time sometimes to learn. And I need to just make myself learn to do stuff. And I just don't sometimes. Oh, there is a room tour coming. I know I keep saying this, and you're all probably thinking, I'm not gonna ever do it. I did clean my room today, so maybe if I have a chance, I will film that after this video. So it should be coming up around the same time that this video is up. Give or take. My room is really dark, so trying to work in here is hard too, to do like a room tour, because it's really, really dark in my room. As you guys have probably seen from past videos. Okay, need more string. And I don't think I brought any rubber bands to tie this off either for styling this wig. So, just gonna fold it down and see what it looks like a second. Not bad. Need to put the bangs on first, and then we can be done. But I'm gonna do a quick try on. Yeah, that looks cute. Looking good. Just gotta put her bangs on now so she has her bangs back. So I'm gonna do that real quick. And let me see if I have anything I can tie this hair back with for a second. Oh good, I do have scrunchies. These are really large scrunchies, but they're scrunchies. They'll work. Glad this is working, because I really was thinking this would be super cute if I could get this to work right. And I'm glad it is, because I really... Not that I was disappointed to get the same doll, I was just kind of like, I already have this exact same doll. And like I said, I didn't know... I thought about giving it to my little sister, but she's kind of got her own, like, dolls. And she's more focused on playing on computers than playing with toys right now, so it's, like, hard for me to tell sometimes. Like, she likes her toys and she'll still play with them, but sometimes she's a little distracted by other things that she can do. Which I think is a modern kid thing to a degree, like I was saying before. Modern kids have their own, like... I feel like when I was younger, you had a select amount of toys that came out every year, and you had to see them either on TV or in a catalog. Making myself sound old. But, yeah. I feel like they came out with toys a lot differently when I was younger, is what I'm trying to get across. I feel like now there's just so many toys. Like, every year I'm like, oh my word, there's another toy that looks exactly the same as these toys here. Like, that's why, like, when I got a NaNaNa's, when I seen them on Lively Days channel, I wasn't sure if I was even gonna really get one or not, other than the fact that when I seen them on there, they were super cute, and I was very tempted to get one, so I ended up actually getting one. So, I have a hard time with modern toys. Like, I see a lot of people, even adults, who do like some of the modern toys, but I just am like, eh. And some of this comes from the fact that I can make a lot of stuff. So if, like, I feel like things just are kind of cheap sometimes when I look at some doll clothes and some of the more modern toys, I'm like... Then again, Barbie stuff was pretty cheap when I was younger too. Still, a lot of it was plastic and fake fabrics. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, getting overly nostalgic for old toys. So, plus I kind of can make some old stuff, so, like, I used to make teddy bears and bunnies and stuff. I still do, but I've reclined a little bit on what I'm making, because I have a lot of stuff already in my life. I don't need more stuff. And plus, I don't have anybody who really is at that age. Like, I always make, stuffed animals for, like, when somebody has a baby and whatnot, and I always like giving them as baby shower gifts, but nobody in my area that I know well is having little kids anytime soon, so, or any babies. There are babies in my life that are around that are other people's kids, but they're not, like, people I'm close to, so, if that makes sense. Sorry, that went on a ramble. I do that, I ramble. One of the reasons why I don't talk very much in these kinds of videos. So I ramble. But yeah, what is your guys' opinions on modern toys? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think meh? Because I have some toys that are modern things. Like, I have some My Little Ponies that are recent. I have a lot of old My Little Ponies too, though, or old. And I think some of them aren't even real My Little Ponies, that they're just like the generic ones that look like the My Little Ponies from back in the day. So, but yeah, if I do a room tour, you guys can see that. And I also have a lot of things that I have collected from like thrift stores that are multiple different toys from different eras. Sorry if you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this bang to not get twisted into itself. Okay, there we go. Now I'll put it on the hat. Should be wearing my thimble, because this is how I destroy my fingertips. It's because I don't put my thimble on and then I stab myself with my needle on accident. I need to be wearing it. I just, like, especially when I'm sewing projects like this, where it's harder to get one on without it, like, falling off all the time. Like, when I'm doing, like, hems and stuff, it's easy to wear my thimble then, because it's just a straight line, and I'm just doing it over and over again. But when I'm sewing small details like this, it's harder to get my fingers in between with the thimble on. I need to get one of those ones that are not solid plastic, like a silicone or like a leather one. Probably silicone, one I would go with. But that's on the list of things to buy someday in the future. And then maybe I'll wear it more, but my fingers would be less destroyed if I wore it. Okay, let me see how that looks. Not bad. These bangs are going to have to be majorly trimmed once I get them on. Okay, I think I'm going to tie that off. And then we can go ahead. I'm not sure how I want to attach this, if I just want to stick it on her head for now, or if I actually want to go through the process of trying to actually attach. Oops, sorry, I just whacked you guys. I literally had the tripod between my legs again, and I'm trying to like sit here at an angle and sew so you guys can see what I'm doing and also not be in my own way to a degree. Okay, got that done. Okay, now we gotta go ahead and pop it back on her head. I feel like this is hard now with the hair in the way. Oh, I think she needs a haircut. Let's trim that back a little bit. I'm gonna set her down so I can do this a little easier. I'm just trying to trim it shorter. I'm not gonna, this probably looks like crap, but I'm just gonna try to get it trimmed back a little bit. I feel like the hat's a little far forward. There we go. The hat's a little bit far forward. There we go. See if I can scooch that. That's far. I think the hat I made it a little big, so it's probably a little bit too big on some areas, but I kind of like the little overhang of her hair being a little longer. Might trim it just a little bit so there's a little more layers. Going back to the doll modding thing, I don't usually mod dolls. A lot of the times I buy them and then I keep them as is, or I would just restore them to their original form if I get them from like thrift stores and stuff. But NaNaNas I think are a little easier to work with because they are kind of on the soft side. I don't know if I'm going to re-secure it to her head. I might just stay with it. Shh. Sorry if you guys hear my cat. She's protesting. Shh, Flower. Sorry if you guys can hear my cat. She's just telling me, I'm here. I need attention. Play with me. But, yeah. I don't know where the string is coming from. Come on, string. There we go. I feel like I'm trying to decide if I want to braid her hair or not. Maybe we should, real quick, just temporarily do that. Then if I don't like it, I can always take it down. Just so she matches the other doll. This is very complicated to try to do this when their doll keeps moving. I want to like somehow secure her with something, but I don't know how to secure her. Like if I wasn't trying to film this for you guys, I'd just probably put her between my legs and secure her that way while I'm trying to do this. And that'll probably be what happens once I get done filming. Where's the band? I know this is huge, but like I said, I'm going to readjust this. I just want to see what it looks like here and let you guys see what she looks like on camera. Oh, I'm going to have to adjust this hat just a little bit. Probably take it in like an inch, not an inch, like a quarter here just to help tighten it down a little bit. Because I think I made this too wide, so I probably need to take it in just a little bit so that her bangs are there a little more. Trying to do this very carefully. I feel like this braid's not gonna look as nice. They both kind of look a little meh. But this is what happens when you try to do stuff on camera. Oh no, my bow came undone. Oh well. I'll get it later. I know these rubber bands are way too big. I'm aware. I just trying to get it tied for temporarily usage, and then like I said, I will fix it later. Oh goodness. Yeah, that hat's gonna have to be adjusted just a little bit. But I don't think she turned out too bad. She needs a little bit of a trim here and there just to help with the flyaways, and I think some of that will be fixed once her hat stays in place a little bit more. I don't know, what do you guys think? Obviously the dress needs help, I'm aware. But just from like her face and her hat, I think it's not terrible. The back of her, like I said, I need to adjust this one. I can do it with a better chance to braid her hair. I still have my needle there. But yeah, it's not terrible. The hat's a little bit big in some places. Like I said, if I take it in, maybe this will be a little bit tighter to the back of her head a little more. I think this needs to go down a little bit too. There we go. What this is just a piece of elastic too. I just sewed a piece of elastic to help shrink down the hat size. So, I think she looks cute with pink hair. And now the two of them, oops, I gotta put her shoes back on. I did want to tie the purple back in with the ears, so that way her shoes kind of match. And I'll probably get some hair ties that are maybe on a light purplish pink. So, you guys will have to let me know what you think. The new done or the original, I think they look very cute together. and will be displayed probably somewhere in my room together. I think the ears are a little wonky too if I'm looking at it, but oh well, she's cute in my opinion. I tried. Alright guys, I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you guys soon. I'm Calliope, and I'm signing